Hey, hey, Soul Tribe. Mel, Intuitive Coach here. Excited to bring in another Soul Saturday session. I am excited to share with you today the channeled messages and key themes for each astrological sign for 2026. Now, I have already pulled cards for each sign from my Intuitive Soul Coach Oracle and channeled messages for you. So all you have to do is cozy on in and feel free to check out your sun, moon, and rising sign for a bigger picture. Remember, our sun sign is our personality, our identity, key themes that are playing out in our lives. However, our moon sign is all about our inner landscape, our emotional world, how we feel about situations and what's going on around us. It has to do with our subconscious, our intuition, and our patterns. And our rising sign has to do with our life direction and external experiences. So basically, practical matters, opportunities, and our physical reality. So when you're able to tap into your sun, moon, and rising, it just brings more pieces into the mix that can help you out. So think of this as a guiding post for 2026. Now, I will link the timestamps in the description box below. But if you only want to check out your sun sign, that is okay as well. And if any messages resonate with you today, feel free to hit that thumbs up button and comment below. So let's dive in here and start with Aries. So Aries, 2026, key theme for you. You have authenticity. And the messages that came through for you, Aries, have to do with shedding an old skin and not playing it safe. It feels like you are breaking out of conditioning. Perhaps you're breaking out of the mold, crashing through the glass ceiling because you have a vision. And when you have a vision, there's no stopping you. The name Jordan and Tara or Tara came through as well. And these could be people that show up on your path in 2026, or perhaps you already know someone who is here to help you in some way. And they're helping you understand that you are not meant to settle. It feels like you are taking 2026 by the horns. It feels like you are awakening to something more honest, more real, more genuine. And I also see that you're attracting these types of energies in return. You are becoming who your soul has intended you to become. And not that you were not living up to your fullest potential, but you may have outgrown an old persona or an old role. And that's why shedding identity here is so important. But first, it may have required you to get honest about a situation or about a relationship or perhaps a health matter. And I see that your truth is actually showing up more naturally than you think. And you're not apologizing for that truth. You're not going to shrink any longer to fit in someone else's box. Aries, you are not someone who is ever going to shrink inside a box. And so you know when it's your time to rebel is kind of what I'm getting. Not that you are going on a rampage, but you are rebelling in a way that's actually going to liberate you or set you free. And I do see that 2026, there's going to be a lot of clarity for you, and someone or people may make comments around your eyes or your voice. There's something around your eyes, your vision. Maybe some of you have very intense eyes. You know, they say eyes are the windows to the soul. So you certainly could have like deep and meaningful conversations. Some of you are maybe doing mirror work and looking at yourself in the mirror, looking into your eyes, or having deep, intense conversations with others. And because voice and throat chakra is coming up, you may even be communicating, sharing your vision with others. This has to do with your inner truth. So many of you are having a throat chakra activation. And I feel like there is an awakening moment that may come in more more in a subtle way. Like you could be driving in the car, perhaps you're feeding your cat. I mean, some of you could be putting dishes away, or it could even be late at night. But you have this inner truth that bubbles up and you're like, I got to say this. I have to do this, or this is part of my calling. So don't be surprised if your ideas and your voice and your inspirations really come to life in 2026. I'm getting a magician vibe with this as well, where you are taking those ideas of yours, you are bringing them to life, and you may even be feeling a bit more energetic in 2026 as well. And in the month of March, which makes sense, the beginning of Aries season, it feels like there is a decision that realigns with your path. Now, this could be internal, such as a decision you make that changes or shifts everything. It feels pretty big. Or it could be something external, such as the sale of a home and you get the green light. It could be, the offer, the invitation that comes in that you've been waiting for. So March highlights a big change or a move for you. And I am also getting here a tabby cat. There's someone who may have a tabby cat, or maybe this is a new pet that comes in 2026. If this is a pet that's crossed over, I feel like their energy is very much with you. All right, that is what I have for you, Aries, for 2026. Now let's move on to Taurus. Hello, Taurus. Your key theme for 2026, no surprise here for you. You have new life. And new beginnings are coming up, fresh chapters. And I feel like this starts for you in January as far as the initiation process, but I'm really getting mid-year for you is when everything changes. That mid-year clarity is what feels like home, or it brings you back to your center, or it just feels like it's truly aligned with your path. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not going to have a great, 6 months into the year, but it feels like there may be a little bit of a buildup to this new life. And I see that you are excited to step forward into this new chapter of your life. This feels like it's been initiated by you. It doesn't feel like it's a tower moment. If anything, it feels like it's a chariot moment where your energy is realigned, Taurus. I'm hearing the name, or I heard, I should say, these are channeled messages. Elena came through. Elena or Elena could be significant, perhaps someone that you meet in 2026, perhaps someone that you are already connected with, or this could be your name as well. And I am getting the imagery of like herbs, herb garden, and Tuscany or Italy came to mind as well. Some of you could be traveling or visiting a location that is outside of the norm or outside of your country. Maybe this is that mid-year turning point as well. June is highlighted here. July highlighted. Many of you are rebuilding stability in a fresh and inspired way. You're adding your own splash. You're adding your own magic to the mix here. And I see that subtle lifestyle shifts, especially in the first half of 2026, are really going to lead to big transformations mid-year for you. You're letting go of an old comfort zone. There's a lot of growth here. You may even be expanding your skill set by taking an online class or a course. Maybe you're looking at higher education. And I'm also getting retreat energy here for you. So you could be going on a wellness retreat, a yoga retreat, a silent retreat, or this is something that you may be hosting as well. Now, a golden retriever came through. So perhaps you have a golden retriever, or this could be a new pet that joins the family. And I'm also getting advice or news that comes through a stranger. Advice or news that comes through a stranger. So this could be a random happening or occurrence, but it feels like divine intervention. It feels like this is perhaps an angel in disguise, or it is someone that spirit has brought in to help you in some way. Now, you may have a green thumb, Taurus, because I'm getting that herb garden or like planting flowers. Some of you may work with like plant medicine, mushroom tinctures, ayahuasca. I feel like greenery, dipping your toes in something that has to do with connecting with Mother Nature in some way, maybe very therapeutic or very fun for you to start. Some of you may even be starting a garden for your first time, or you may be moving and relocating to a place that has a lot more greenery or room to expand and grow your herb garden. It just feels like a really great energy. And some of you could be getting married, having a baby, retiring, starting a business. So new life comes in like the Fool energy in tarot, where it feels like it is something that is going to shift in such a big way that isn't just your everyday experience, right? New life is big. So this is a big monumental milestone, something that you've been wanting for quite some time happens in 2026. So that is what I have for you, Taurus. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed that, please do give it a thumbs up. Let me know how it hits home for you. Let me know what you are building, what you are manifesting, what you are creating. Hey, Gemini, welcome to 2026. Your key theme, you have gifts. Yes, you are gifted, and I have a feeling your natural talents are really rising to the occasion in 2026. The name Maya came through for you, and it feels like you're also connecting to a new spirit guide. Perhaps Maya is the spirit guide. It could be someone that you meet in 2026, maybe your name or someone you're already connected with. And it just feels like there's a lot of blessings, a lot of opportunities that are showing up for you this year. Now, New Orleans also came in. So you could be traveling to New Orleans, or you maybe you live there, or there could be some sort of memory or connection to that location or area. And I was also getting a parrot on a shoulder. So you may be going to a hot spot or a vacation spot, or maybe you have a parrot. Now parrots represent the throat chakra as well, communication, like how we speak to ourselves. And you may be opening up your throat chakra more in 2026, standing up for yourself, saying what you mean, speaking up, using your voice in some sort of communication. Maybe this is vlogging. Perhaps you're starting a YouTube channel. You may be writing a book or sharing your story with others, or even joining a group or a community where you are wanting to be heard, but people need to hear what you have to say is the message that I'm getting here for you. You may also be rediscovering old skills in 2026 with a new sense of purpose, and even increasing some of your original spiritual gifts. Perhaps you are clairvoyant. Many of you are working with your third eye chakra as well as your throat chakra, and you may even be sharing some of the visuals or visions that you are receiving with others. Now, communication in 2026 is becoming your superpower. You are an air sign. You are great at communicating. So use it to your advantage and soak up that energy. I feel for many of you, you're stepping into rooms, you're stepping into relationships, you're stepping into environments where your gifts really belong. And you also have celebratory energy coming in. Now, some of you could be inviting in a new child. There could be a marriage. There may be a huge shift when it comes to your financial abundance. And it feels like you've earned it. You've worked hard to get to where you are at. And so I see recognition through something that it maybe went dismissed for a while, or you felt like you had to put it on the back burner, or maybe you dismissed it at that time in your life because you thought, well, I don't have a lot of time, or it's not the right, experience right now. It just feels like something that was dismissed shows up in such a profound way, and now you understand why. You also have this creative idea that is returning with full vengeance. It could be something that you've already done, but in 2026 you master it. So for example, let's say in 2025 you put together a retreat and it was the first retreat you've ever put together, and it was wonderful, but there was still some tweaks because it was the first time you've ever put together something so grand. And in 2026, it's like, okay, you have the experience now. You're able to take a look at what worked in the past and what didn't work and bring it to life in a different type of way where it really comes together beautifully. Not that the past one didn't, but it just feels like you're reawakening something in a new, more masterful type of energy. And I also see here that there may be invitations that come through, like speaking gigs, or if you are a public speaker, if you are someone who makes goods, or if you have services, it feels like there could be an invitation to collaborate or connect with someone else in your industry or in your field of work. I also see that you could collab with a family member, or this could even be a stranger that becomes a really close friend. So Gemini, you have gifts showing up, a lot of gratitude. Stay in that energy of gratitude here, and you're going to be surprised at how beautiful life shows up for you in 2026. All right, if you enjoyed that, please give it a thumbs up, Gem. Lots of love. Hello, hello, Cancer. For you, 2026, no surprise here, we have Heart's Desire. So 2026 pulls your truest desires into focus. This is passion projects. It's making decisions from the heart. You are feeling emotionally fulfilled as you really focus on this energy. All right, something is fulfilling you in so many ways, but emotionally and spiritually. This is you loving what you do. It's loving the people that you are spending your time with. The universe is opening the door in perfect timing for you in 2026. And I also see you releasing guilt around, or even shame around wanting more. It is okay to want more. It's okay to open up that heart to experience more love, more flow, more abundance. There's alignment coming in this year for you through soft, intuitive moments. I feel for many of you, you are listening to that subtle nudge that your intuition is guiding you towards, and you're doing a lot less doubting or second guessing yourself in 2026. If that has been difficult for you in 2025 here, it feels like this year, 2025, has been preparing you to open yourself up intuitively, and this could show up in relationships. Many of you are calling in love this year, or you are strengthening pre-existing bonds. It feels like you're realizing that what you want is actually attainable. Like it's not a pipe dream. It's not so far off into the distance. It's actually something that is becoming real and tangible in your outer world. Now, the name Jude came through. Perhaps this is your name. It could be someone that you connect or meet with in 2026. And I'm also getting a strong presence that you're connecting with. I feel like this could be a guide energy, also a loved one in spirit, who is helping support you to tap into this heart space, to make choices from the heart instead of choices from fear or choices from the ego. Now, I'm also getting here a black lab. Someone could have a black lab, or perhaps this is a new family member. There could be a lot of love through animals or the animal kingdom. And then also Paris came in as well. I was seeing the Eiffel Tower, so perhaps some of you are visiting Paris, or you could be maybe going to France or somewhere in that area. Maybe you live there. There could be an international trip for some of you, or you're inspired by art. You're inspired by travel. You are inspired by music. It feels like your heart is awakening to falling in love with life, Cancer. And that's your energy to the core anyway. And I see that your heart chakra is awakening because some of you have gone through a dark night of the soul. I'm being shown the death card in my mind's eye. So that tells me that there's been maybe a total eclipse of the heart, right? Makes me want to turn on that song. So some of you, it's like you went through a period of darkness, but now you are stepping back into this heart activation, and it feels like it's beautiful. And you may have even questioned at some point in your life, is this ever going to happen? 2026 is your year to really, really shine, Cancer. And like I mentioned, you're releasing guilt, and that may still show up for you in the coming months, the first few months of 2026, where you may have some old triggers or old fears or old wounds come up, but I want you to notice when these things come up for you and be gentle, be kind with yourself and say, wait a second, I don't need to bring this energy with me. I can live and lead from this heart space because I've done the healing work. I have integrated the lessons. I've turned it into wisdom. And it feels like you are also teaching others that there is a better way. So you could be called to do some mentorship, some coaching, guiding others, or sharing your heart-based products, goods, or services with the world in some way. So heart's desire activating for you, Cancer. So if you enjoyed that message, if it resonates with you, please do hit that thumbs up. Hello, hello, Leo. Your key theme for 2026 is intuition. Now, 2026, your intuition is heightened all year long. This is big energy because it means that your dreams and your synchronicities are getting louder and louder. And I also see that you are trusting in divine timing. And you're going to notice this year, 2026, that breakthroughs are happening in perfect timing, in perfect synchronicity. And you are trusting in the timing of this beautiful unfolding. Your inner voice is becoming loud, where that logical mind of yours, where you tended to maybe overthink things or overanalyze, it feels like you are still balancing up the left and the right hemisphere, but you're leaning more into that intuitive mind where you're using this to guide you, but then you're using more of that logic to help you, navigate forward. I do see here beach, like there was a beachy energy. You can see it on the back of the meditation. So it feels like this is a more peaceful year for you, a lot more serenity, Leo. You may even be connecting with like sunrise or sunset. Some of you may even capture sunrises or sunsets and turn them into like a collage, or you may catch one of the most beautiful sunsets of your life, and you may be with someone very special. You may go on some form of a retreat. This could be a beach retreat, a spiritual retreat. You are becoming your own oracle this year. And I do see that your spiritual gifts are not only increasing, but you may be sitting back wowed at times. You're like, wow, did I just channel that? Like, that's pretty crazy. But it's not coming from a place of ego, like of grandeur. It feels like this is like, wow, I have what it takes to channel these messages. Like, that really connected with an individual. So for those of you that are wanting to explore more of your gifts, 2026 is the perfect year for this. And I also feel like you're acting on instincts, and that is leading to expansion. So you're trusting in those gut instincts. You're trusting and using your divination tools or techniques such as meditation, journaling. This could be yoga. It could be breath work. You may even have certain somatic tools that you are using to help you throughout the year, but you could be teaching others how to use these tools, or perhaps you are enhancing or increasing your own, and you could bring these into your business. You could bring these tools into your relationships and perhaps even health. And I see that you're trusting the time, as I said, but it also feels like there's unexpected guidance that comes through from unknown sources or even strangers. And I think it was maybe Taurus that also received that. So maybe some of you are going to connect with a Taurus that could bring in some really beautiful spiritual insights where you both work together, or there could be maybe a love connection, romantic. It could be a lifelong bestie that you meet. The names Kara and Dante also came through for you. And animals. So some of you, it's going to be winged creatures such as hawks or owls. And I see that there's a strong connection to the animal world, animal kingdom. You may have pets of your own. or you are working more with animal spirit guides or totems. And I definitely see that you are becoming the shaper of your reality, and your senses are sharpening as well. It's like you get things instead of it feeling like you are hitting dead ends, or it feels like you've been repeating cycles in 2025 or prior. It feels like you are snapping out of situations with more ease. I know that sounds kind of contradicting as I say snapping out of it, but it almost feels like your intuition is spot on and you're really listening instead of letting that logical mind pull you into self-doubt or pulling you into old patterns or old fears. Intuition becomes loud and you're saying, wait a second, I recognize the pattern. I recognize that something is not meant for me and therefore you don't pursue it, right? Or I recognize that relationship was holding me back and I'm not going to spend my energy chasing. It feels like you are rebalancing your own nervous system and you're choosing to participate in healthier environments, healthier relationships, and healthier energies all around. And when you can live and lead from this intuitive space, Leo, it is life changing. And I also see that some of you are influencers of some sort, or you are receiving guidance that could help other people shift or understand their destiny in some way. You may be called to share your superpower with the world. And many of you, it has to do with your intuitive gifts and paying attention to the messages that do come through because they're profound and you may be guided to share them, such as mediumship. And you could dive into some of these avenues and really gravitate towards it, especially if this is something that you've been wanting. So for example, let's say that you're a light worker and you're like, I don't know though, am I a healer? Am I a medium? Am I meant to write a book? Am I meant to, move in this direction? You may have a lot of ideas, but it feels like those ideas become sharper in your world and you're like, this is what I want. This is what I'm going for. And maybe that's why that winged creature is coming in, because if you think of like a hawk, right? If you think of a hawk, when it sets its sight on its prey, it sweeps in and there's no stopping it. And that's what I see for you. And some of you could be visiting a location, like I said, near the water or anywhere that inspires you to write, that inspires you to dream, that inspires you to record, that inspires you to take the next step in your life. So it feels like there's a lot of really beautiful intuitive guidance coming through for you that could lead to some big life changes. Thank you so much, Leo. I hope this resonates. Virgo, welcome to 2026 energy here. Your key theme for the year ahead is milestones. Now, 2026 is marked by achievements and completions for you. You have accomplishments here. This could be a promotion. It could be some form of reward or a huge ceremony. Maybe this is a wedding that you are having, a birth. It could be retirement. It feels like something huge is coming to fruition. Now, I'm also getting here a mountain vibe. As you can see, it almost looks like a mountain on the back of in the background, like maybe you've climbed mountains to get to where you are at, but you could also live near the mountains or travel near them as well. Specifically, Colorado was coming to mind. And I'm also getting here like cat energy. There may be a companion animal, emotional support animal, or it certainly feels that way with a cat. So if you have a cat, Virgo, or if you've been wanting one, maybe you visit a cat cafe or you are going to like a shelter. It feels like there's significance around feline energy. Now, it doesn't have to be a house cat. This could be a spirit animal that you are also working with in 2026, such as a lion or a tiger. It feels like there is a strong pull towards independence. Oftentimes that feline energy is highly independent. So you could even be branching off and doing your own thing. Now, the name Brandon came through. That could be your name, someone that you're connected with, or someone that you may meet in 2026. And I feel like there's a new chapter that is showing up in 2026 that is built on prior year's effort, especially 2023 and 2024. It feels like those years are highlighted. Not that you didn't do anything in 2025, but it's like you had to kind of wait for something. Like you had those moments of stop and pause and waiting for the next door to open. And sometimes you may have felt stuck in 2025. But Virgo, I see that that slow progress is finally paying off. Finally, after working so hard to receive some sort of accolade or some sort of achievement. Your strategic planning is turning not only into opportunity, but it's becoming your reality. And I see you finishing some long-term goals. Some of you, this has to do with finishing a home that maybe you've been building. Maybe you are having your final child and this completes your family. You could be building a business and perhaps you've wanted to put out a course or a class or a new product and you've been working on perfecting it or mastering it, and this is the year that you put it out to the public. I also see here that there's strong elevation when it comes to your career. I'm being shown the Chariot in my mind's eye, so career advancement for many of you Virgos out there. And this could even be reputation, something along the lines of your reputation is getting a big boost. You could be in the social media presence, or there could be someone that recognizes your talent, and it could even be someone in your field, or it could be an influencer of some sort, and they utilize your goods or services and they give you a shout out, and that really boosts you. But it feels like you've been working really hard to get to this accolade or get to this milestone. And there's recognition coming in from unexpected sources, but I also see sources where you may want that recognition. And when it comes to family, there may be some final achievements that come through, such as maybe your family member, maybe your adult child has been going through a divorce, and this divorce is finalized and they're liberated, they're free from something, and it's been difficult, but they get to move on now. You know, it could also be that you are witnessing or experiencing other people's success, but you've also had a big part in it. And I feel like there's rewards coming in for you as well. Now, I also see here that you are excited about getting to this point, but there's a month. Okay, Spirit, bring in the month, please. It almost feels like February could be a highlighted month, but I'm also getting September. Yeah, it feels very strong for really being able to reap the rewards of that hard work and take some time off. So September, for some of you Virgos, it could be a very beautiful month to like stop and smell the roses, or to purchase something that you've been saving for. Or it could be a month where you see all of that hard work really paying off. It doesn't mean that you have to wait until September, but because I'm getting that February energy as well, it's almost like you get a sneak peek. So pay attention, February and September. Like there could be a cycle that plays out between those months. I know that there's kind of a wide array of months there, but you are potentially hitting more than one milestone as well. So you could have a few achievements that really pop up for you in 2026, Virgo. So that is what I have for you, milestones, beautiful energy for the year ahead. Libra 2026. You have healing showing up. I know some of you Libras are like, Mel, I've been doing all the healing, right? I don't want to do any more healing, but this is good because it feels like there's a soft, deep, emotional healing throughout 2026 that is actually bringing in closure for many of you. And this is also about past emotions. They may rise for closure, but it doesn't feel painful, right? It feels like you are witnessing as the observer. You are looking at something maybe in a different way than you were looking at it in the past. This healing is bringing in creative or spiritual openings for you, Libra. The energy is becoming lighter for you, and I feel like it's the second quarter of 2026 that really starts to illuminate your journey. So April, May, and June are highlighted for a lighthearted energy to take place where you really feel like, wow, I am not feeling the heaviness of what I once was. And it could even be in your health. Many of you are feeling lighter come springtime. You may be feeling more active, more in shape, more in charge of your career. It feels like there's acceptance here, and that's going to replace overthinking. If you found yourself in 2025 overthinking the heck out of everything, this is a year ahead where you are accepting what you cannot change and you're not dwelling on the past, and you're also not focusing on what you cannot control. So I do see here that relationships are coming through that feel softer, that feel gentler, and it could even be new relationships that are bringing in a sense of safety when it comes to your own nervous system. So if you have gone through family patterns or relationships that have felt very tumultuous, maybe even toxic at times, or if you've even been single, it feels like you are connecting to individuals who feel safe and calm, and they are not bringing up that sense of fight or flight that may have been brought up for you in the past. Now, many of you are healers. That's why you have the healing card, and you may be called to take your gifts and bring them to life in some way. This could be through Reiki, it could be through mental health, perhaps therapy, coaching, it could be any energy work. Maybe it's yoga. It could be leading people through guided meditations, maybe starting a YouTube channel. You may be closing out cycles, but also opening the door for new discovery, new opportunities. There's a supportive person also that is connected to your energy in 2026. This could be a guide. It could be a loved one in spirit. The name Rosa comes to mind. And it also reminds me of rose quartz, that very soft, unconditional love type of energy. And it feels like that's what you are calling in. That's what you are attracting. And I was being shown the white rabbit. Now, I don't know if that's like an Alice in Wonderland white rabbit, like going down the rabbit hole where the rabbit's always chasing time. So for some of you, it almost feels like time management becomes something that's not such a challenge for you. It feels like divine timing is taking place where you get to soften into spending time with the people that you love, spending time focusing on the creative activities that you enjoy, and even in your career. So many of you are shifting into this feminine or softer energy instead of pressurized, instead of feeling like you have to do something out of duty or obligation. You are shifting into more of like a heart-centered energy. And I do see that you are supported in your endeavors, especially if you are working on healing or opening up a healing practice, or you could even be caretaking for a loved one or a parent. I see that there could even be some shifts beginning of the year for you when it comes to someone around you. They may call upon your support, and because you have this healing energy, you may be the one that supports them, but be sure that you're not taking on their stuff. It feels like you can help, you can support, but don't lose yourself in it. And I feel like that was something you have learned maybe the hard way in the past. So this new experience is coming up, but you get to handle it in a different way than maybe you have in the past. And that's why I mentioned some past emotions may rise up for closure. Even if you are still helping other people, even if you are still doing the same thing, it just feels like there's this new perspective, this new way of seeing it through. And Japanese gardens also came through for you, Libra. Maybe you love Japanese gardens. Maybe you're visiting one. I mean, some of you could be traveling. You may love greenery. Maybe you have a bajillion plants in your home like I do, but I see that you could be healing through nature or through spending time with green, like plant life. Maybe you have a green thumb. You could even be working with like plant medicine or herbs, flowers, things like that. And so there's a lot of creative energy coming through, and there's a new sense of balance when it comes to love, when it comes to family, when it comes to your self-worth. And you are feeling overall just this feeling of heart chakra energy. It's a clear flow. And instead of, again, letting that mind overwhelm you, you're more present in 2026. And that is going to change everything. That is what I have, Libra. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed that, please give it a thumbs up. Scorpio, your key theme for 2026. It is go time, action. Now, 2026 is all movement, all momentum. So if you feel like things have been a bit slower or your dreams have been slow to manifest, this is a powerful year for momentum growing rapidly, especially mid-year for you. You are going to notice a lot of shifts. There's a lot of changes. Momentum is building, and I feel like you're taking off. Now, if this is in your career or if you receive some sort of advancement or a promotion or even a new job opportunity comes in for you, it feels like you really climb the ladder quickly. And if you are a business owner, you could be launching a project that attracts a lot of attention right away. It feels like you may even be traveling. This is connected to the Chariot, but I'm also getting a strong 8 of Wands energy, which is velocity. It is rapid manifestations, but some of you could be, maybe you're a travel agent or you're in real estate or you are doing a lot of traveling. This could be big bucket list travel as well. And you may even be relocating or moving in 2026, Scorpio. Your courage is leading to surprising openings. And it doesn't feel like you are overwhelmed to the point where you're losing sight of what you want. It feels like it's that exciting energy of, oh, I can't wait to experience all of this. But be mindful in 2026 to kind of stop and check in with yourself because there can be a lot going on. And so make sure that you are staying hydrated and that you are, not missing out on maybe other energies around you, because there could be someone such as maybe a child, a family member, or a partner who comes to you, or they may need you in some way. And you may be focused on, that one track thinking like, yes, I'm going in this direction. And it's not that you're purposefully trying to avoid or not be helpful to that individual, but it just could be that you have a lot going on and they may need you and you're not fully aware of that. So make sure you're checking in also with the people around you. Now, I was getting Santa Fe. Some of you, maybe that's a location or a region that you are experiencing or visiting. And the name Dominic came through for you as well. Dominic, this could be your name, someone that you're connected to, or someone that you meet in 2026. And it feels like there's a bold personality here around you that is influencing some decisions. Now, this could be a boss. It could be an emperor type, maybe a father or a divine masculine as well. Maybe someone who's dominant, right? But not in a way that feels toxic. It feels like this is big boss energy that is saying, let's go, Scorpio. We got this. It's us against the world. So it just feels like there's this sidekick that you have. Think of an accountability partner, like someone at the gym. You want someone to fire you up. It almost gives me a bit of a Tony Robbins type of vibe where he can be kind of intense, right? But sometimes he tells you exactly what you need to move forward. And that's kind of the energy that I'm picking up on here for you. Now, opportunities appear once you take action, once you move. It's almost like a dominoes effect type of year, Scorpio. And I see these small steps are going to create huge ripple effects. And this could even be your diet. For many of you, it's going to be your diet, your exercise, your sleep is going to improve. And you may find that you shed a lot of weight for those of you that may be overweight, or if you have been ill in some way, you may find that there's rapid recovery as soon as you pull something out of your diet or as soon as you start moving. It's like the weight drops quickly. So it feels like there's quick, but then you may have to kind of pace the energy because you don't want to burn yourself out. But don't be disappointed if something comes in hot. Maybe something of yours goes viral and you're like, wow, this is huge. I'm selling all these products. And then, 5 months later, 6 months later, it tends to kind of slow down a little bit. Don't get discouraged because there could be a little bit of that peak, but I feel like that is a time, or I should say a kind of a pit. That's a time for you to recalibrate, so you can get ready for the next stretch. So Scorpio, there's this powerful acting before you overthink, because if you overthink, you're going to procrastinate, or you're not going to make a move, or you're going to try to talk yourself out of it. So 2026, it is go time. Book that travel, start that project, reach out, collaborate, communicate. I mean, action is the name of the game for you this next year. Thank you so much, Scorpio. If you enjoyed the reading, give it a thumbs up. All right, Sagittarius, you are up next. In your key theme for the year ahead is memories. Now, before you shut down your screen and say, Mel, what's happening? I want new beginnings. Hear me out, Sag. Memories can be a good thing. Now, past influences are returning with purpose, not vengeance, purpose. And it feels like there may be integrations around past lessons for you, Sag. There could even be an understanding of patterns that have shaped your path. And I see that memories are triggering an openness, like a creative or emotional openness, or even insight into your career, into your relationships, into your health. So this is a good thing, because it almost feels like you're being cracked open. I'm being shown an egg, but it feels like a hard-boiled egg. So it doesn't feel like it's the messiness of, it feels like something here has been hard to crack within you, or it's become hardened. And this is the year where you get to crack the egg, but then you're kind of chipping away. And it just feels like the past is guiding your next evolution here. And so there are a lot of breakthroughs. And instead of history repeating itself through the challenging lens of the past conditioning, it feels like you get to integrate that wisdom into 2026 and choose a different path if you want. So there's a reconnection also. This energy really connects to the Six of Cups. So the message that's coming through for you in 2026 is rekindling that inner joy. The Six of Cups can be revisiting childhood, play, and magic and innocence, just like children do. And even if you had a difficult childhood, I see that you've done a lot of shedding. You've done a lot of reprogramming. And this year, you may realize how far you've come on your journey. There's also going to be some old connections that come through. So for example, let's say you drive by an old home that you grew up in. This could be an old playground that you used to play at. It could be a library that you once frequented. It could be it could be anything that reminds you of your past in the physical form. It could bring back a lot of memories, but instead of seeing those memories through the lens of, negativity, it feels like you are more neutral, and it feels like you're saying, okay, I want to experience life by staying present. So it sounds a little contradictory with this past energy coming in for you, but I actually feel like you are revisiting old dreams. You're revisiting old passions. Maybe there's been a part of you that has been like that hard-boiled egg where you just felt like, okay, I'm numb, or, I've become hardened in some way, or I've been conditioned. This is my life. This is what I have to do. This is how, I have to stay in this relationship or stay in this job or continue this pattern because it's all I know. Not anymore. Not 2026. It feels like the things that are working for you are going to be strengthened, which is great. But the things that you've been conditioned to believe is the only way to do it, and it's not helping you. In fact, it's hindering you. That's what is being broken open. And you're reconnecting with your younger self, and maybe even reconnecting with someone that you knew from your younger years. And there's also this energy of play, and people are going to see it in your eyes. People are going to see it in your smile. Even though you have aged, you may get complimented that you look younger. People may say that to you. They're like, Sag, you look younger, because maybe you went through an experience that, it felt like overnight those gray hairs started to pop out and those wrinkles started to come up, and you're like, oh my gosh, who am I? But it feels like you're inviting more joy and play and enthusiasm and pleasure back into your life after a period that may have been a little difficult for you. And you're understanding a part of yourself on a deeper level. And I see that memories are coming up here. And if they are worth revisiting in a way that puts a smile on your face, maybe this is an old video that was recorded of 1988 Christmas, and you watch it and it brings a smile to your face, even if that person is no longer in your life, right? So it feels like you're able to look at these things instead of being so heartbroken or disappointed over them. And I also see that you're bringing something to life, and it feels like it's you, like you're coming back to life. And you could even be sharing your story, maybe through a memoir. Or it could be that you're reminiscing with old high school friends that you haven't seen. Or some of you, this is going to be an old flame and they show up in your life and you give it a second chance, right? This is a really beautiful energy. It doesn't feel like you're sitting in nostalgia all year, twiddling your thumbs. Not at all. It just feels like there's an integration of these past lessons. And I'm not sure if I mentioned, but the name Nina came through, or Nina. Isn't that Spanish, Nina? There's Nina. Maybe it's Grandma Nina. It could be your name, someone that you're already connected to, or someone that you meet in 2026. That could be a very big part of your life. That could be very influential. Maybe this is someone from the past. And then also the eagle came through. It almost, the eagle that I saw in my vision when I was channeling these messages for you. And yes, some are coming through now as well. But I saw this beautiful eagle, and eagles to me represent freedom. And it wasn't a young bald eagle. It was a full-on adult, and the wingspan, it was almost as if you're soaring above the fray. It's like you're rising above the conditioning. You're rising above the childhood wounds or the fears or the patterns. So this is your year to soar to new heights, but to view some of where you've been, right? Because that's going to remind you of where you don't want to go. But I feel like you are raising your vibration as well. So use the past to help you, not to hinder you. That's what I have for you this year, Sag. Hey, Capricorn, you are up next, and your key theme for 2026 is career. Career speaks of major growth and visibility in 2026. The energy that came through was leadership, like new titles. As you can see here, there could be promotions. There may be a side hustle or a business that you really start to grow, that you evolve into. There may be an unexpected advancement that shows up potentially around March, April. Energy is strong for you. And I also get, Capricorn, that confidence becomes your currency this year. It feels like you are starting to step into your own leadership. There's long-term opportunity here that's going to set you up for years, set you up potentially for the rest of your life. Or if this is a new career path that you step into, it feels like it's long lasting. There's also an energy of being seen for your expertise. You're really talented. You're very gifted. You've worked hard to get to where you are at. And I see for many of you, you are completely shifting jobs or career paths. You may be taking your career in a completely different direction. Some of you may be going back to school. Perhaps you're pursuing higher education, taking a course of learning. You may even be expanding your business or your career globally, and you're not settling for less than you deserve. I definitely see here a new title or a new role or persona that you are bringing in 2026. Now, Holly, the name Holly came through. Or Hallie could be significant as well. I'm getting a mentorship here. This could be someone that you know. It could be you. It could be someone in 2026 that shows up. But I am getting a mentor or a teacher or someone here who you work with in a very compatible way, and you could even become business partners, or you could bounce ideas off of each other. I mean, this could be a family member, and I'm getting a loyal dog type of energy here too. So some of you could have dogs, or maybe you work with animals, but I am getting the energy around dog when I think of them. I think of man's best friends, companion, loyalty, trust, also fun. I guess it depends too what type of breed, but I am getting that companionship, but also loyalty. And your devotion is paying off. Okay, your devotion, and there could even be trust and loyalty that is rebuilt for you. And that could be why your confidence is increasing, Capricorn. I see that you are also connecting to maybe a cafe. I'm getting like cooking, maybe someone in the kitchen. I don't know if you may be connected to like a restaurant, or you may meet someone out at a restaurant. This could be a business. It could be a business like meeting, but it feels like there's a lot of really valuable reflections that come through while you were at a restaurant. And it feels like it's downtown. It feels like there's a lot of lights, a lot of people walking by. So it could be like a downtown restaurant. And I mean, that could also be symbolic for, food for thought. There are a lot of ideas that come through, and you may be opening yourself up in ways that you never thought possible. And I see people around you as well. So it feels like you have support, there's resources, people want what you have to offer, especially if you are a business owner and you're being seen, you're putting yourself out there. You could even be working with someone else in your field, like another company, or for example, let's say you share an office space with other holistic practitioners. Let's say you have, a healing business or you do massage therapy, and you share a suite with 4 other holistic practitioners. It feels like you could blend your expertise with their expertise, and all of you could come together and bring in a class. And so there could be profit sharing, or there could be like a 50-50 business split, or something that has to do with like pooling resources in some way to bring people together is what I'm seeing. So a lot of career advancement. And for those of you that are not in a career, maybe you're like, Mel, I'm retired. I feel like this is about you focusing on things that bring you joy. Like it says, side hustle. There may be opportunities for you to participate in creating, using your creative skills. It doesn't have to necessarily be to make money, although you certainly could, but you could be someone who is offering up some ideas for others. And I also see here travel for many of you Capricorns. You may be traveling, or there may be something to do with like Airbnb or Virgo. Is that how you say it? Verbo. And you could be a host. You could be, maybe you're flipping houses. Maybe some of you are going to be on a reality TV show where you are like listed or love it or list it. So it feels like there is a lot around maybe home, stability, real estate, or career, or that could be pooled or compiled together. So Capricorn, that is what I have for you. Aquarius, your key theme that came through for 2026, you have messages. This year is full of signs and symbols and repeating messages for you, but also there may be an important announcement or some form of communication that comes through that changes everything. So when messages comes through, I see that many of you are channelers. You may be channeling messages from source, and these messages could be brought out in your career. It could be that you receive an intuitive download about a relationship, but I have a feeling this has to do with your external world as well. I am getting here like synchronicities that are going to guide your decisions. So it feels like you're very in tune with the world around you as well as your inner world, but there's this heightened sense of awareness and you're listening to the call, but there could be something unexpected. I mean, you have the message in a bottle here, so there could be an unexpected opportunity or blessing that shows up out of the blue. I'm also getting a person or a pet or an animal that may show up out of the blue that is meant to be in your life. And it could be that stray cat that shows up on your doorstep and you had no intention of keeping a cat, but you do. Or it could be that person that you randomly meet at the grocery store pumping their, or at the gas station pumping their gas, and you strike up a conversation and you marry them, right? It feels like there's going to be some divine synchronicities that play out for you, Aquarius. The name Maya came through, Maya. And this could be your name. It could be someone around you or someone that's coming in or someone that has a strong connection to maybe Mayan roots or like ancestral energy or lineage. So Maya or Mayan runes, if you plan on maybe visiting them in 2026. And I am getting here a messenger or a catalyst. It feels huge. It feels pretty big. So some of you are going to receive some very favorable news, maybe the sale of a home. This could be a wedding announcement. This could be the birth of a family member. This could be a career advancement or a promotion, a job offer. It feels like this communication is significant, and you may even hear from someone that you haven't heard from for a long time. This could be a family member that maybe there was a falling out with, or this could be someone that you went to school with and you haven't heard from them for 20 years and they moved back to your hometown. So it feels like 2026 is spiritually orchestrated for you. And I see that there's messages pointing towards new relationships for many of you and new projects. And your intuition becomes loud, right? That is your guiding post, because oftentimes as an air sign, I am Libra sun, Aquarius moon, we can be logical, right? We need that logical solution to figure things out, where even though being intuitive, we all are, we still tend to sometimes question, where luckily I don't question my intuition as much as I have in the past, but there's still this part at times where that logic tries to tell a story and the intuition is saying, okay, I'm just going to sit back here until you're ready to hear what I have to say. And 2026 is saying, you're listening to what I have to say, but it's not feeling pushy. It feels like it's more aligned for you. And I'm getting here someone that may be living on the coast, or there could be an energy of library. So, I mean, library could be symbolic for the Akashic records, or it could be information, research. It could also be that you visit a place and it has a library like you've never seen before, especially if you love to read or if you like art or history. It feels like that energy is coming in strong. And I'm also getting here paying attention to words that you overhear or conversations that you overhear, because you are meant to overhear certain things, because I feel like that's going to be a catalyst towards new opportunities as well. It doesn't feel like it's more of a gossipy, like I'm overhearing this and I'm going to go tell Susie that Ted is, it doesn't feel like it's that type of energy. It just feels like, okay, you are overhearing a conversation about, in the clinic of a nutritionist that somebody went to heal their athlete's foot. And you have athlete's foot and you're like, oh, well, I've been wanting to get this checked out by someone new. And then boom, there it is. I know that was a weird example. Hopefully nobody has athlete's foot. But Aquarius, I do see here that 2026 is definitely nudging you towards these new beginnings. And it feels like you're not letting doubt or procrastination or the over analytical mind steer the ship for you. You are listening to some of these downloads, and I feel like you're taking matters into your own hands instead of waiting for the perfect opportunity. So that is what I have for your year ahead, Aquarius. I hope you enjoyed that. If so, please give it a thumbs up. Pisces, last but not least, you, my darlings, your key theme is wanderlust. You have a strong desire to explore, to travel, to venture out of your comfort zone in 2026. Your gypsy soul is activated, and you may even be called to go to like a small coastal village, or maybe to go visit a mountain home. It feels like you are also checking off maybe a location on your bucket list, your travel bucket list. But it doesn't have to just be travel. It could be experiencing new horizons, taking relationships to a whole new level. It can be taking your health to a whole new level where your body does not look like the body that you came into the year with by the end of the year, right? It feels like you are stretching the limits and you are broadening your horizons. There's freedom and exploration in 2026 that is bringing this sense of fulfillment and this sense of completion. I'm almost getting the World here. It feels like the World card in tarot, where there could even be like global interactions or connections, but it feels like your soul has transcended through maybe a shadow period or through a timing, like divine timing here, like a spiritual graduation, if you will. Mid-year could bring in some places that really inspire you, and you may say, I want to live here, or I want to work remotely so I can travel the world. I'm getting more of, it feels like May, June, and July are highlighted months for either travel or like tourism, new lands, vacationing, as it says. I mean, this can be any time of the year, but those months are highlighted. And I'm also getting here like a silver tabby. Some of you could have like a silver tabby or like a gray. It feels like you are connecting with maybe a pet or an animal, which is interesting because the feline energy represents independence. Like you can leave cats to go on vacation instead of like if you had a dog, or not that you can't go on vacation with a dog, but you know, cats are less work in a way. So some of you may be embodying the energy of the feline, where you're independent and you are not apologizing for what it is that you want, what it is that you are going for. I'm also getting here that travel, whether this is literal, whether it is symbolic, it's really going to expand your soul. I mean, it could even be through inspiring books that you read, or it could be taking a walk on a trail near your home that you've never been on. So getting out of your comfort zone and trying new things, trying new foods, connecting with new groups, new people, that is what your year ahead is all about. And you're gaining creative inspiration through these new environments. And I see that many of you are starting to really activate that pleasure zone, your sacral chakra. You may have even gone through a Kundalini awakening, or you may go through one in 2026. If you're not sure what that is, look it up. But you are meeting people from different cultures, different backgrounds. And for those of you that are looking for love, there could be someone that does come in at a distance, or they have some sort of like cultural maybe difference than you do, but I feel like you're highly compatible and spiritually aligned. I also see here that you are bringing in maybe career advancements through travel, through real estate, through Airbnb. I feel like there could even be a makeover around a home, or some home projects that are getting finalized, that are getting finished or completed. And you are excited to explore a little bit more. You are protected as you do so. You see the hat in the card here, which is about protection. I see that you are creating memories. You have the camera there as well. And you do see here the stars, sea stars. So I feel like some of you are moving towards your dreams and your wishes, maybe even acting out some of your visions that you've had for so long. It feels like they're finally coming true for you. That world energy, like there's victory, there's success, there's advancement for you in 2026. So whatever this wanderlust means for your beautiful gypsy heart, Pisces, go all in. You know, book the ticket. Say yes to that invitation. Some of you may be saying yes to marriage. Or there's a new connection coming in where this person may live at a distance, but maybe you meet them earlier in the year, and by the end of the year, I mean, you could be living in a whole new country, a whole new state. I also see that there could be backpacking. Maybe some of you are visiting the mountains, hence my shirt here, Take Me to the Mountains, which I was picking up on for you. So it feels like you could be maybe traveling more, but also getting a new vehicle, chariot energy. So you may have a new vehicle coming in. or traveling by plane. I'm also picking up on foods, like different foods, or you're experiencing new things for the first time, even if it's something that you have tried in the past. So, sometimes when you're a kid and you hate onions, right? I wasn't a big fan of onions as a child, but as an adult, I enjoy them a lot more. It feels like your taste buds are changing and your style is changing, and you might show up in a way where you want to express yourself, maybe new tattoos. Okay, some of you are redecorating your home. You are changing your hair color, making a big, bold, radical shift in your appearance or in your body. It just feels like there's some really powerful changes that really activate your sacral chakra and help you step into your creative side, Pisces. So that is what I have for you in 2026. So that is it. Pisces, if you enjoyed the message, please give it a thumbs up. And for all of you, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. I will be putting out yearly readings for each sign as well, so be sure to check them out. So I hope you enjoyed this sneak peek into the year ahead. Let me know, drop it in the comment section. How did this resonate with you? What did you enjoy most? And would you like to have more of these channeled readings come through for these Soul Saturday sessions? Or would you like to learn about some other spiritual topic? What do you want to see here for these Soul Saturdays? Drop it below. I'm here for you guys. Lots of love.